Now that I have my frame relay mapping, I mean static mappings, I should have connectivity between spokes too. So I start a ping 10.0.0.3 and it should be working because I know the DLC that puts me through router 2. And router 2 of course know how to take me to router 3, and now router 3 knows the route back to me, and this is working. And this should be working for router 4 as well. Now I should check the connectivity here. Do ping 10.0.0.1, and this is working. 10.0.0.3, it's me. It is not working. And this is a very interesting case. If you want to ping yourself in frame relay, you have to know the route to yourself because you do not know which way takes you to yourself. I'm not going to talk about this. This is going to be in CCNP level, of course, but you can use a DLC and add a static frame relay map as well. So I check 4, and 4 is working, and I know that 4 reaches me and router 1 as well, so I don't check this again. Now that I have my frame relay configuration in its simplest manner, I use only 4 IP addresses. I have saved my IP addresses, and this is a simple configuration on all spokes, and I use only one line of configuration on router 2. Now, if I want to use a sub-interface on router 2, that would be possible to me, of course. I can use multi-point sub-interfaces, and I can use, of course, point-to-point sub-interfaces on router 2. And of course, I will talk about cases that I use sub-interfaces on spokes as well, okay? Let's go to router 2, and first of all, show running config of interface serial 00. I want to remove this configuration using default interface serial 00, and this will put my serial interface into its default configuration. That means the encapsulation is removed, the IP address is removed, and everything is set to its default. And now I should have a sub-interface, interface serial 00, and to assign a sub-interface, I type in a dot here and the number. The number is not significant to what you're doing. I just add 1, 3, 4 to show that I connect to router 1, 3, and 4 using this interface. So whenever I do this, I have two possibilities here. Interface serial 00, that's 134. It can be a multi-point interface or a point-to-point interface. So if I should, of course, go to privilege mode and save everything and come back again. And this should give me two options whenever I try to create a sub-interface. Show IP interfaces brief first tells me that I have interface serial 00134 assigned, but it is not working. Let's go back to configuration mode. Interface serial 00 that, of course, let's go to interface serial 00 first and add the encapsulation of frame relay. This is one thing that I should do first. And now exit interface serial 00.134, and I have two options. You can see that one option is multi-point, and that's exactly what we had previously, but in its physical interface level. And I have point-to-point interfaces. Now I'm going to use multi-point first. I type in multi-point, and when I type in multi-point, I can add these commands. Let's see the commands here. First of all, I want to assign the IP address that I had previously assigned to serial 00. So I add IP address of 10.0.0.2 and 255, 255, 255, 0. And now let's see the connectivity before adding any other line of command. From router 1, I try to ping router 2, and let's check the connectivity. You can see that I cannot reach router 2. And what is the reason? This is the reason to show frame relay PVC will tell me that I have DLC 201, but this is assigned to serial 00. And serial 00 only knows about these DLC 203, 204, but serial 00.134 does not know about any of these DLC numbers. So I have to add some lines of commands here. So I add frame relay, and you can see that I have the possibility to add a mapping or interface DLC. And this is the simplest way. I add interface DLC here. And I tell the interface that you can access 201, you can access 203, and you can access 204. Now, this interface knows about DLCs that are existent there. So if I try to do this ping again, after a while you should see that this ping is gonna be successful, because now I have introduced those DLCs to router 2. And let's see what is the problem here. On router 2, I know the DLCs, and now to show frame relay PVC command will tell me that these DLCs are assigned to, they are active, they are working. DLC 201 is assigned to serial 00.134, and it should work, of course. I hit Ctrl Z and try to ping one of these routes, 10.0.0.1 for example. And it is successful, yes. And from router 1, now it's working. And let's try other pings. And you can see that I can reach other spokes with the mappings that I have. And router 2 now is used in a subinterface in multi-point mode. Okay, now that I had these, I can go and change my configuration. This time I'm going to use frame relay mapping on router 2. I can do this, but this is overconfig, and I'm not going to do an overconfig on router 2. Let's go and use point-to-point interfaces and see how it works. For this, you should know that now that I'm going to use point-to-point interfaces, I have different subnets in router 1, router 2, and other routers. And whenever I have different subnets, now the routing protocols will take care of my routing, and I don't have to add frame relay mappings for every spoke. Let's see this. I go to router 2 and negate this subinterface. So I add no interface serial 00.134, and this interface now is gone. And if I see IP interfaces in brief, you can see that this interface now is in unassigned and deleted status. So if you reload your router, this interface will be gone. Now start by adding interface, and you should know that frame relay is assigned to serial 00. I add interface serial 00.1, and this is gonna be a point-to-point subinterface. And for this point-to-point subinterface, I do not have frame relay mapping. You can see that, of course I have frame relay mapping, but this would not work. You should see that frame relay map. And next, if I use IP, for example, 10.0.0.1, and it goes through 201, you can see that this does not accept frame relay mapping under this configuration. and I wonder why it is available here if I cannot use this. Like I said, we cannot use frame relay mapping on their point-to-point subinterfaces because we have only one way, and this one way should be introduced using the delta number. So I just add this line of command: frame relay interface delta, and because this will go to router 1, I use 201, and I add an IP address to this subinterface: 10.0.21.1, and in 24-bit mask. Now I have this. Let's go to router 1 and change the configuration here. On router 1, I can use a subinterface. I can use the physical interface. Now I go with physical interface here. So I change the IP address of interface serial 00 to be in the same subnet with router 2. Now let's go to router 2 and check the IP address. It should be 2 here. And now that I have this, let's check the connectivity. On router 1, I want to remove the frame relay mapping. So let's see the configuration of router 1's interface serial 00. And I have 2 lines of configuration that I don't need them. So I type in no and negate these commands. And now you can see that I have only IP address and the encapsulation command here. And now if I try to ping router 2's interface that is connected point-to-point to me, 10.0.21.2, this is successful. And now I should go to router 2 and create other subinterfaces. Interface serial 00.3 point-to-point, and this IP address would be 10.0.31 to 32, of course, to 255.255.255.0, and I should tell this to use frame relay interface DLC 3203. Okay, now I create the last interface, serial 00.4 point-to-point, and this will go with 42, and this will use frame relay interface DLC 204, and every configuration is done here on router 2. Let's go to router 3 and change the configuration. On interface serial 00, let's see the running config of interface serial 00 and remove this frame relay mapping here using the and changing the IP address to 10.0.32.3 and save the configuration. On router 4, I should do the same. To show run interface serial 00, and I want to remove this line of command and change the IP address to 10.0.42.4.255.255.255.0 and save the configuration. And let's check this configuration in the next section.